this morning to see how the child might be. She sat there smoking all my cigarettes at a table set for three. I could have cried, I could have cried when she said, oh, I don't love you anymore. I was slain and shown the door. Ain't no room here anymore. Please don't look to me for help. All the pain is with yourself. All the blame is with yourself. So I went to see my friends. I tried to turn to them for help, but all that any of them said, you gotta look out for yourself. I could have cried, I could have cried. She said, I don't love you anymore. I was slain and shown the door. Ain't no room here anymore. Please don't look to me more. All the pain is with yourself. All the blame is with yourself. You're all I ever wanted, all I ever needed. Every time I see your face, reminds me, baby, oh man, it gets so lonely. Oh yeah, up and down, always seemed in happiness. I say my prayers every night, but even God don't care less. Oh yeah, I could have cried, I could have cried. I don't love you anymore. I was slain and shown the door. Ain't no room here anymore. Please don't look to me for help. All the pain is with yourself. All the blame is with yourself. Well, I don't love you anymore. I was slain and shown the door. Ain't no room here anymore. Please don't look to me for help. All the pain is with yourself. All the blame is with yourself. I'm slain and shown the door. All the pain is with yourself. I don't love you anymore. I was slain and shown the door. Ain't no room
Welcome, potential customers of a brand new amp for your pedalboard. Got a lot to say about the thing we're looking at today, and there's a lot to cover, so let's get to it. So this is what it looks like. It is the Blackstar Amped 1. We're gonna start with some bitching. What the crap were you thinking, Blackstar people in the marketing or naming department? Not you, Ollie. Whoever named it. Because we all know that one of the big ones that's been on the market for a long time is the Blue Guitar Amp 1. Amped 1. Interestingly, that's not what they were going for. They were going for amp pedal or pedal amp. Why not PAMP? I mean, Amped 1 and Amp 1 is just way too fucking close. And it looks like they're trying to infringe on the market of the Blue Guitar, which is of course what they're doing. But with the name Blackstar, I told you I would bitch about it. I bitched about it. It's a dumbass name, okay? They're paying me. Well, not to say this, but they're paying me for the video. But I gotta frickin' come down hard on this. Call it the PAMP. Call it the, who knows, the Frederick. I don't give a shit, but Amped 1 and Amp 1 is just too close. Okay, that being said, it is different in the whole idea than the Blue product. It's also a different price point, which is very attractive because this thing clocks in at $499 here in Germany in euro, and that is extremely attractive for what you get. So it is a pedal platform amp, also being signified in the fact that it is going on a pedal board as the last thing in the chain. And I will already tell you that with pedals, fantastic. Without pedals, kind of boring. But that's not a negative because that is what it is designed to do. It has a, let's say, 3 kind of different preamp. Flat, which it is set to right now. UK, which has some drive, edge of breakup. USA, which is mid-staffed and kind of, you know, black, facey. Gain. Bass, middle, treble. Reverb, which you can turn on and off. Nothing to write home about, but it's there. So, okay. I actually can't tell you, and I assume that it's not. What am I talking about? Tube. I don't think it's a tube amp. Actually, realistically, I don't know. Look it up. I don't care. I look at sounds. Look at sounds? I listen to sounds. Then it's got a power amp. Let's call it simulation. Is that analog? Is that digital? I don't give a flying rat's ass. I'm going to assume that's analog. But that's kind of cool. See it as a power amp EQ more than anything else, because the differences are actually quite a bit more pronounced than what you would get if you actually had those tubes installed. But you can run it totally linear, which is cool. EL84 is probably going to be a little bit more mid-focus, a little bit less low-end. 6v6, similar. 34s, I don't know. 606 is definitely the one that's very bully, fat, low-endy. And then KT88, similar. So learn what they sound like and use it as a different form of EQ. Can we say that there's also different sag, different power amp behavior? Probably. Does it really matter too much? No. You can switch it between 1 watt for the bedroom, 20 watt for the big bedroom or for the club, and 100 watt for nobody fucking needs this. This is a full 100 watt amp. Possibly, again, I didn't look up the technology. Look it up on the site. I want you to go to the site, get this. Class D or something. Master, at 20 watt, I wanted to run it right about here with the cap, which I have in the room. XL output. There's a little twisty knob for level. And then 3 different caps, which you can predefine in the software, which of course we're going to get to. And that's what you're going to go to the gig with. Obviously, with MIDI, you can probably do more. So there is MIDI right here. It comes with a mini to full-size MIDI cable. It comes with a USB-C to USB-A cable. It comes with this insert cable right here for the loop. So that's a loop. Yes, it has a loop. It's got a fan, you know, many fans of the pedal. This is where the guitar goes in. This is where USB-C is. We're just going to the Mac right now. At the bottom, right here, that's where I'm going to go to the cap, which is disconnected right now. There's a 8 ohm and 16 ohm connection. Interesting, the St. James cap is 4 and 16 input, just to let you know. And really, really cool right here are 2 9-volt outputs. I talked to my buddy Perfecto. He ran at a gig with an Eventide H90, which eats up a lot of power. And he had a small pedal board with the Amp 1 Eventide H90 and a Soldano pedal, but he said the outputs are not isolated. So if you're running a digital pedal and something else, you're going to run into problems. Running drives and stuff, not an issue. So for a fly rig, running an analog delay, not a problem, but as soon as you're running something digital, you probably need another power supply. So the two outputs are a nice add-on, but you might have problems if you're running a digital pedal, just to let you know, because they like isolated outputs. We run it with the DI out primarily, but I have a cab in the room sitting over there. So we're miking that with an SM57, as you usually do with the cab, and it's a beautiful cab. It's extremely lightweight, and we're going to run that later. So, let me tell you what happened. I put this on the table, didn't know the price point. I expected it to be $899. And I was disappointed. I'm going to be very honest. I had the fiddles. I put it on USA, put it on preset 1 on the cab output. And it was way too muddy and big and low-endy. The reverb was just mud central. Well, but I had it on this, which doesn't have a lot of, it's a blackface. It's a, mid-staffed, low-end. Then I had it on 606, which adds more low-end. And then the cab also had a lot of low-end. So I wasn't happy. And I continuously was fiddling with which of the 3 default cabs to use, which of this to use, which of this to use. I was looking for the right sound. And whenever I had something, I'm like, okay, no. Okay, no. I wasn't happy. Then I found out about the price point, and the DI out limitations weren't so bad anymore because it's $499. So even if you forget about the DI out and their architect software and cab, don't know what it's called, something, cab rig, that's what it's called. Let's see this as an add-on, because I think it is the weakest part of the product. Then I hooked it up with the software. Again, fiddled around with it for way too long. Picked a 212 that didn't suck hard. Tweaked the EQ a bit. And I was like, okay, that's acceptable. But I wasn't acceptable. I'm really not selling you this, am I? Okay. And fiddle around with the settings, because I was ready to record the track at the beginning, which, if you ask me, had phenomenally good sounds. Put it on flat. What do you expect on flat? You expect it to be uninspiring and flat and not jumping out and not being alive, which is exactly what I got. But then I turned on a pedal in front of it, a pedal that I can't show you today because it is unreleased yet. It is a Dumble style pedal. And as soon as I turned that pedal on, this amp started to shine and sparkle and be alive and sound tubified and have everything that I was hoping for it. The cab that I picked to go DI was all of a sudden, everything was great. The track that you heard in the beginning is this thing, some Dumble pedal. It's not really that expensive. And the built-in cab out. Everything came together. So being a pedal board platform amp, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It shines with pedals. Again, sorry Blackstar, it didn't floor me by itself. Any pedal you put in front of it, all of a sudden this thing goes like, wow! So that's the idea. I'm going to show it without pedals, and then we're going to click something on. We're going to start with, let's go 34. Everything is digitally controllable, by the way, with MIDI, which is cool. There's a preset, so very easily storable. I think you just hold that in and then it's saved. With MIDI, you've got more presets, blah, 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 all that stuff, which is kind of cool if you actually have a drive that's also MIDI capable, like the one that we're using. But here are the sounds. We're going to go through it. Everything centered here, no reverb yet. With the cab that I picked with a little bit of room on it. What do you expect? Boring as fuck. But that's what you want as your platform. Trust me. USA. I can't play. Let's give it some reverb. Might want to tweak the volumes in between the different sections. Definitely more interesting. Let's quickly switch to preset 2, which isn't mine. That's what it comes with. That's mine. You can see already why I had problems with the low end, because... Sorry, Blackstar, that is freaking unusable. Because it's way too... as many of them are. Third one. You'd have to EQ all that shit out. I mean, that's more balanced. That's what I put together. So if I go to USA full blown here. It's not bad at all. But I know that mid-cut can be problematic depending on what you're feeding it. We go to UK. I got a single coil in the back. What you get? Edge of breakup, beautiful. That's all the gain you're getting. Let's stay there, a little bit less reverb. That reverb does tend to be muddy. Turn it off. Let's see the EQ. It's extremely flexible, so if it's too you can tweak it. So yeah, whatever you want to go for in your sound, the EQ will allow you to do that. And that is completely... Why am I doing this? MIDI-fiable, preset-ifiable, is savable, all that. So all these pots see them as digitally controlled analog or whatever. It's not bad sounds at all. So if you need edge of breakup, it's right there. Let's stick with USA for now. Now try to show you the differences in tubes. Comes out a little bit more when you're doing drive sounds. We're going to do both. So we're going to start linear. That's the power amp section. if you really wanted to pump something else into it and use the Amp One as a digital power amp, I've got right there, look at it. It's the Power Stage 170 from Seymour Duncan. It's really the power amp of something like this. 3-band EQ, that's it, 170 watts. It's a good product, but it clocks in at €450. $50 you get this, which has a lot more to offer and can also work as a power amp. So realistically, that's what you're going with. Before I forget it, it has the output for XLR on the right, which obviously is dumb. Also headphone out or line out if you wanted to use it headphone or just line into something. But obviously on a pedal board, realistically, pedal boards go from right to left. So the last thing in the chain would be this, and that would be on the top left, which means this should be over here. So over here, there's nothing. Maybe it wasn't possible. Maybe they weren't thinking about it. If they weren't thinking about it, why weren't you thinking about it? Makes a lot of sense to have that here and not here. Okay? Okay, that being said. Linear. You hear it makes a big difference. Less bass, more mid-focus. Don't really know the difference. Bass goes ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, if you really want that Soldano kind of massive low end, use the 6L6. Be careful with the cab, because check this out, second cab here. That's what I dialed in when I had it on the table. And obviously my reaction was, what the crap, Blackstar. So then with the reverb, all of a sudden boosting all that low end. This is how it comes stock. And how is the reviewer or the average guy not going to think, oh, that sucks? If you first have to find the good sounds, Blackstar, then think about it. I think a good idea would be to tame your cabs with the low end, because it's possible to go way too far. So if you pick a different cab, already better. No woofing. Woof, woof, get it. And then we got the KD88. So definitely nice possibilities there. Gonna go back to linear, gonna go to UK, gonna do this. So that's linear. Their cab. I'm going to be super ass. Look, I like the Blackstar people. Good friends with Ollie. But whoever made that preset, have you ever recorded a cab and listened to it? Have you actually ever recorded something and put it in a mix? Because if I put this in a mix, it will drown. It will kill my bass drum. It will kill my bass. It will be an impossible sound to actually put in context. So give me a call, Blackstar team, and let me know what you were thinking when you put this sound together. I don't get it. I know you're paying me for this video, but I'm going to make fun of you for putting that in there, because this box is quite a bit better than what you are delivering it with. That's single coil, so that's way too much. Going to go back here. So we've covered the EQ, we've covered this. Let's make a preset. I mean, why not? Let's just go to a preset. Preset. Oh, 6.6. We don't want that. Let's go to UK. Let's give it some drive here. No reverb. 34. I guess it's safe now. So I'll set up whatever. There's your 2-channel amp complete presetability. However, it's got MIDI. Feed it with however many presets you want, and then have a MIDI foot switch doing that. That being said, if we look on the table, there's the Kernam Ridge, which is also white, and a relatively simple overdrive, and that is also MIDI-fiable. So you could literally completely MIDI-fy and preset your overdrive going into this, so you can make a sound that is great for this and save both and switch them with one foot switch, and then completely change everything, including cab and everything, about what you want. These two together are a match made in heaven, also because of, the color. So yeah, it doesn't really floor me too much there. So let's see. I'm gonna go to flat. So you're going to say, that's boring, right? Okay, let's kick in an overdrive. There's life with a built-in reverb, and I can go more clean boosty here. Again, this is the Amped 1. By the way, this was a cat. Don't get cats. Now you're gonna say, well, obviously it's a €300 overdrive and it's very special. No, I tried different pedals in front of it, and pedals do that to the Amped 1. They make it amazing. So as a platform, it's exactly what it's supposed to do. Be there, don't get in the way. Let's try this with the US setting. it works, but the flat to me is better for that. There's too much of a cut. Let's do that with the UK setting by itself. Here we go. So that's got the kernel in front of it now, and you see why the amp one is good, because it does handle pedals like a champ. Not like the champ, like the amp, like, like a good guy. Putting an H90 into the effects loop. Without the kernel. On flat. So realistically, you can pick anything on the amp one as a starting point. If you want that grit and that nice top end sizzle of the UK, pick that and push it a bit. Push it a bit with your pedal. And remember, we did all of this on one power tube setting. There's a lot to do. Okay, loads to switch. We're going to check it, not with the DI out, but with the cap. For that, I will probably just turn down the DI out all the way. Let's see what we have here. Very low signal, but I'll click in the cap carefully at 20 watts because I'm sitting right next to it. It's already absolutely loud enough. I do not want to check out the 100. Let's check out 1 watt's nice for dog hair. The dog hair does not come with it, that's extra. These cabs are ridiculously nice. Super light, they look cool. The Blackstar thing lights up if you feed it with 9 volt. So I can only recommend these. Also come in black. In 212s. That's at 1 watt. Let's kick it up to 20. So if you're asking yourself, can this thing survive in a live situation? Oh yes, I mean... you take away all the cab rig sounds, the simulated cab, and you're running it into a real one, this is as good as an amp as I've ever played. Now it's clearly that mid-focus, beautiful. I'm having fun. But of course, you can kick in the loop, which has got the thing in it. With the Kernum. No overdrive. You can get any sound of this thing you want, depending on the pedals you put in front of it. Without anything, it still has some nice rock and roll gain. And again, with the cab, all good, all MIDI-fiable, all that stuff. We're going to undo the cab, because you've heard it. We're going to crank up the built-in thing again. And we're going to go into software. Fly us into software, Leslie. There we are. You can see the pedal. You can see the pedal. You can see up there, the pedal. I fingered it. It is called the Architect software. Comes with it. Download it from the site. And you can see, as I'm fiddling the knob, the software moves along with it. Which also means probably if I hooked it up with MIDI, I could possibly use these to actually write continuous controller information into my DAW. Haven't tried it. Could. Now, there are stereo settings in the software, interestingly. And I'm like, but it's a mono pedal. Well, it can work as an audio interface. You can run this directly into your DAW with USB-C and record directly from it. And then it is stereo. We're not trying that because that's always a big hubble-a-bub. Let's not do the hubble-a-bub. We're not hubble-a-bubbing here. Hello. Carlos Asensio actually liked it a lot more with the direct USB-C to the computer recording because I think it is stereo. Which means things don't get summed together in mono. Sometimes when you're summing things together, especially with reverb or the cab, there could be, and I think that's what might be going on here, on the XLR out, things get summed together, and that causes some kind of phase cancellation, notch filtering. It sounds a little bit like that to me. So when you're running it in full stereo with the USB-C, the sounds, according to Carlos, are more to his liking than the XLR sounds. That being said, the headphone out is also a line out, and that is also stereo. So if you don't need to use the XLR, you can run the headphone out, stereo out into your audio interface, and then you don't have that issue. It's just conjecture at this moment. We have to find out. But I think on the mono summing for the XLR, something fishy happens. But Carlos loved it with USB-C. So that being said, back to me. If I, of course, switch in the software, you can see that the pedal, look at the knobs! I mean, the LEDs switch along with it. You can even program the level. So you could actually use it in 20 watt mode and then go 100 watt mode for a solo, if you really wanted that. But you could also actually change the master. All this is programmable, okay? So let's try this. Doing this as my preset. Oh, here we go. Taking it down and clickety-click and click and click. The master does not follow. Wait, not preset, preset. Okay, the master does not follow. That would have been nice for a solo boost, but it doesn't. Okay. You can of course add presets here as you want, make as many as you want. The pedal isn't that, it doesn't offer a billion sounds, but you might actually want to have certain settings, especially with different cabs. Interestingly enough, the MIDI capabilities are not all the presets you want through MIDI. That is typically standard on Strymons and other boxes that have a favorite switch like this has, or the Kernem, for example, the Kernem Ridge. They usually have one preset or one favorite switch, but then with MIDI, you can access more presets. On the Amped one, you can't. There's one preset and that's it, even with MIDI. That's a little bit weird to me, and I hope they fix that, because why have all these capabilities and then only be able to recall one preset? Who does that? Universal Audio does that with their modeling boxes. Because they don't have MIDI, you can only switch presets with an app, which is dumb. So please add more MIDI preset slots. So in the software, I can turn the reverb on. I can do everything you do on the pedal. There's my USA. You can manipulate it from here, but you can't save it. There's a random mode. I don't know if you want that. Open, close, audio settings, MIDI channel, FX loop, pre-post. Oh, you can have it pre-drive. So if you put something in the effects loop, like, I don't know, drive pedal, that's interesting. Oh no, pre-power amp? I don't know. Oh my God, the effects loop can be parallel. Okay, that's freaking awesome. And I just see that there's reverb settings, which I didn't know. I'm bitching about the reverb the whole time. Let's figure it out. So if I'm turning on my H9, now it's parallel. That's way cool. So let's look at the built-in reverb, because it's set to room. There's a spring setting. Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum will love this. It does a drip. Definitely has a lot of low end reverb time. That does not drip. It's not very horrible, but not great. Plate. I like the plate the most. I would like an EQ on that, so I can thin out the low end a little bit, make it a little bit more sparkly. It's a little bit boxy. But you can tweak it, and that's nice. And I assume, let's try this. I'm gonna make a preset. Okay. Gonna change this to room. Plate. Doesn't seem to change along with it, at least not in the software. Okay, show randomizers, we don't need that. So slider values, create, blah, blah, blah. Send feedback. Okay. Get away. So you can do all this on the pedal, and you have your preset list here. Community patches, that's kind of nice. So you can do stuff with the community. But we want to look at this, the cab rig. Now, why, Blackstar? Please, pray tell. Why in the world are the St. James amps stereo, meaning you have 2 cabs and 2 mics and 2 settings, and this only has 1? I get it's a cheaper product, but you already developed it. Can't be processing power. Come on, I'm pretty sure it's the same processor. So that's a big bummer. I'm sorry, thumbs down for this. In the St. James software, you've got 2 cabs you can pick, 2 mics you can pick, and that really allows you to mold what you want to do. So on the cab right here, I can pick DI, which is probably what you want to pick when you're going into your DAW, and then maybe use something like, I'm sorry, Torpedo Wall of Sound or something with a little bit more pleasurable sensations when it comes to mics. There is no, as far as I can tell, IR loading, so for all you IR freaks, that's not happening. And here's a 110 combo. Let's see. It's always that low end and no mids. It's just way too fat. I don't know who thinks that that's what a cab sounds like. It's all the same, realistically. That's a little bit better. But it's phasing, it's internally doing a weird thing. That doesn't sound good. That's got some phasing issues. I can go through all of these and you're not going to be happy. I think I had this. I usually would go for 412 Vintage UK. This is all lower end and nothing else. Oh my fucking god! I'm sorry, I'm getting mad. This product is so fucking good. Who puts this in there? Utterly unusable. So let me switch my presets here. That's mine. So it was the classic UK open back. You can see when I'm switching on the side what it's doing. And you see the USA combo, the one that actually kind of works from their presets, is using the same cab that I picked, which in my experience so far seems to be the one that works. You can pick the mic. I picked a 412 condenser. There's this 57. Dynamic. Ribbon. And you can change on axis or off axis. So this is kind of what I came up with. I boosted the top end quite a bit here. Stayed kind of centered here. Let's bypass the EQ. Okay, the room is a medium room, and I switched it to mono because I'm running it mono. Can completely turn it off. Universal Audio is killer at rooms. They're the best. The rooms in the True Note stuff are not too shabby, but you've got to fiddle with them. This is there. You want it because you want the room. but it's phasing. It's doing a weird thing. Maybe it's summed in the middle from stereo. You can, of course, save as many as you want there. But as I said, it's a master EQ. Okay. You can't load IRs. What you have is this. But you still have the option to go DI, which means you can run some freeware IR loader and get, Glenn's cabs or someone else's cabs. I don't have cabs. Adam Steele has loads of cabs. Get their cabs. So that is the software. I've told them already. I'll say it in the video. I think they should have gone with 2 notes embedded, as many companies are doing, because that's great software. That's a billion cabs. You can find the one you want. Love the one you're with, whatever. The weakest part of this product is the built-in cab IR thing, the cab rig. They just don't sound killer. However, this is the big however. 2 howevers. However, 1. It's $4.99, and expecting it to have the same level of quality and sound as a product, let's say like the Captor X from 2 Notes, which by itself is $550 and really only does the cabs and load box. Is that fair? I don't know. The price point is ridiculous. So if we don't look at the cab out as that has to be phenomenal. I mean, I love the aux, and this thing into the aux sounds freaking ridiculously good, but the aux is €1,300. It's not fair to expect that from the amped one from Blackstar. So if we see the cab rig and the software control as a nice add-on that we're not paying for, because really for $4.99 you're getting a pretty kick-ass amp, totally fair. The other, however, is listen to the track in the beginning. Listen to the song I did. Actually, here's another song I did with this amp and actually the kernel in front of it. Let's just jump in there anywhere. So yeah, these were the direct outs from this with the cab that I built. It can't be that bad if I never used anything. No cab, no aux, no mic, no anything. Just this directly into the computer with XLR the way that we just bitched about it. And you can get those results. So it can't be too shabby. Okay? That's my argument. I wasn't happy with it, but then I recorded with it and it's all there. But you could hear a lot of the cabs are, I don't know what they were thinking there. So let's forget about that. Forget about it. This into the cab sounds kick-ass. 100-watt amp for $4.99. I can't tell you a lot of 100-watt amps for $4.99. Maybe Bugeras or something like this. Different kind of concept. Full MIDI capability. Loop that's parallel or serial. Different, controcular, serial. Different kind of reverbs. Are they insane? No, but they're there. You can pick whatever you want. Presetability. 9-volt outs for your drives. If it's drives, you can totally use both of them. If you're running a digital pedal, be careful. It offers a lot. I'm fiddling with the settings to be happy. But realistically, for the songs I was on flat, used some kind of pedal in front of it. I mean, again, a Dumble style pedal or the Kernum. I'm pretty sure I could have used many different pedals, whatever pedals you've got on your board. And all of a sudden, you're there. Let's judge it for what it's supposed to be. a pedal platform vehicle for your pedal board that can also be run directly to front of house or to a cab. If you're using the cab that I built, run the low end a little bit more conservative and be careful with the 6L6 setting, which has a lot of low end. Totally fine for any gig. Just be careful with all the 412s. They're very woofy. So you can run this to front of house. You can run this to a cab on stage. You can run it in 1 watt mode for the bedroom. It sounds pretty damn good with a pedal in front of it. $499. Let's say the problems I had with it, let's throw them right out the window. The quality of the cab out, let's throw it right out the window. It's $4.99. Quality, build quality, the cables that come with it, the presentation, the weight, the 9-volt out, the USB-C, the loop that can be parallel or serial, everything, the MIDI says this is an absolute bargain. If you're a pedal guy or girl or pick your pronoun, damn, that's good. It took me a little bit to find the damn that's good. It wasn't an immediate damn that's good. But once you heed my warnings from this video, you can start right away with this pedal and get some really kick-ass sounds. Get that, actually go to setting 3, careful with the low end. Maybe when you work with pedals, start with flat. Good to go. So that's what I got to say about the Amp 1. It took a while to get into it, but this is ultra recommendable, especially considering that there's something like the Power Stage, which is $50 cheaper, and all that it does is it gives you a power amp. No DI out, no nothing. So we can bitch about some of the sounds. Okay, we can. But we shouldn't. Because at that price point, it's literally a 5-star product. I mean, it's got 1 star on it, which even lights up nicely. Look at that. But that is a 5-star product, if I've ever seen one, at that price point. You write $2,000 on it? Yes, I will compare it to the aux. You write $2,500 on it? Yes, I will compare it to many things. And maybe it is not going to compete there in that budget. But, strip it on a pedal board, put some pedals in front of it, something in the loop, good to go! Yeah, damn kick-ass. And what I got in the tracks that you heard should be everything you know about the usability of the Blackstar Amp 1. Yes, they paid me for this, but trust me, they didn't pay me for all the bitching. That was free. Love you guys, Blackstar. Let's talk if you want to throw tomatoes at me. Maybe you could send me a box of tomatoes. We give them to Leslie. You instruct her what to do, and she can throw them. You don't even have to come here. With Brexit and all that, that's complicated. Just send the tomatoes to Leslie, and she will take care of that. I'll put links below. Please use them. Please subscribe to the channel. Please, it really, really helps for me to bitch about more stuff. Instagram, also cool to do. All that stuff. Animals at the end.
It's getting ridiculous. Afraid of the obvious. We ain't know that it's better to leave now than not at all. And silence is killing us. I guess we just talked too much before, and it's better to leave now than not at all. Do you believe it's easy? Who said it would be? The truth never is, but you gotta release me. No need to talk, cause silence is bliss. Let's not go back to where we started.